Farmers League then, huh? That's what I heard all these years about the Bundesliga, but the Bundesliga showed up in the Champions League semifinals, and Vinicius Jr. is Mr. Champions League. Get your thoughts in the comments down below of the two first legs of the semifinal of the Champions League. Let's get to the games. So the first game, it was Bayern Munich and Real Madrid in the Allianz Arena, and a very intriguing, individual, brilliant sort of game where we just saw football at its finest at times, people. None of this just systematic, let's progress with the ball from left to right, left to right. No, this is give me the ball and I'm going to create some magic. And that's exactly what we saw in this game. Yes, we saw some horrendous defending as well. But shout out to Bayern Munich. They've been under a lot of criticism this whole entire season. And Tuchel, because I've been very critical of Tuchel a lot on this channel. Leroy Sané was starting on the left. But the first 30 seconds, he had an opportunity to make it 1-0. Boom. You bury it, and then this game could be totally different. Like Bayern Munich, that first 15 minutes just took it to Real Madrid. And Real Madrid just had to, all right, we're getting an uppercut, left, right, hook. They withstood the pressure. Real Madrid just dug in and dug in. We've seen this countless times under Carlo Ancelotti and Real Madrid in his time in the Champions League. They're not going to play spectacular football. Just accept it, people. In the Champions League, you need to suffer. You need to suffer. It's like you're in the Saharan desert, you're walking through it, you have no water, and that's basically what Real Madrid did at times in this game, and you gotta give a lot of credit to them. It's mental, people. It's all about mental capacity and mental will to just withstand the pressure, and then, hey, when we get our opportunity, we're gonna take advantage of it. And that Toni Kroos pass to Vinicius Jr. for the first goal, magnifique. Magnifique. Yes, Kim Min-jae, I don't know what on earth he's doing. He sees Vinicius, okay, Vinicius is sort of faking it, like he's gonna go towards the ball, then does a wonderful spin and gets him behind. Kim Min-jae has had a very difficult season. He was unbelievable in Napoli, unbelievable at Fenerbahce, unbelievable for Beijing, I can't remember the team's name, Beijing. He's been great. This season you can see, I don't know if it's just a lack of confidence or if just not really certain about his starting position, so he's worried about, okay, if I make a mistake or if I don't do anything, I will not be picked. And that's sort of how he played into this game, and that was easy money for Real Madrid. Easy, just one pass, boom. But Toni Kroos, unbelievable pass. Unbelievable by him. And Real Madrid just kind of relaxed. And Bayern, had their chances as well. I gotta say that Jamal Musiala is just an outstanding player. Just outstanding. When we're going to see him at the Euros, and we hopefully get to see him for 2 more games, I have nothing against Real Madrid, but just Jamal Musiala is just football at its finest. Like, give me the ball and I will do some magic with it. And that's what he does. He doesn't need to have combination play. He just says, all right, I see the man, one-on-one, let's go. Mano a mano, buddy, let's go. But you got to give credit to Konrad Laimer. Konrad, of all players, Konrad Laimer and Eric freaking Dier. Eric Dier. And I can guarantee you 99.99999% of you, if you're watching or if you're on social media or making YouTube videos, everybody, and including myself, clowned Eric Dier signing for Bayern Munich. We did. But since he's joined, he had like 1 or 2 games where it looked a little bit, the Bayer Leverkusen game away, I was like, yeah, this is why you don't sign Eric Dier. In the Champions League, he's been money. Eric Dier has been money and defensively outstanding. Yes, maybe his build-up play isn't the greatest, but if we're just talking pure defensive rock, Eric Dier has been that. He has been outstanding against Arsenal and against Real Madrid. I thought he was great. Kim Min-jae was the liability in the defense. I thought Mazraoui, Kimmich, they did their job. Konrad Laimer just progressing with the ball. I'm like, how is Konrad Laimer doing this against Tchouaméni, Toni Kroos, Valverde? Gotta give it to Laimer, man. Really, gotta give a lot of credit to him. And Thomas Muller with this link-up play. Leroy Sané just... He is clearly not even 50% fit. But he will take all of the medication, give him some meth or something, and the guy will give it all in the Champions League. And that's what I respect. Okay, yeah, Bundesliga, forget about it. DFB Pokal, we're not in it. In the Champions League, just give me some medication and I will ball out. And that's what Leroy Sané has done against Arsenal, against Lazio, and against Real Madrid. And that was his first goal in 6 months for Leroy Sané. Unbelievable by him. It was a great goal. You can blame Luna and say, oh, you're beat at your near post. That shot was ridiculous from him. Ridiculous. And then Musiala, a couple moments later, getting the ball and just saying, hey, I'm going to create some sort of magic. And Vasquez sticks his leg out, and it's a penalty. And then Harry... See, this is interesting with Harry Kane. He's changed his sort of penalty approach this season. Usually, it's a little bit of a hot step, and then he's just going to fire it into one of the corners. Now, it's a little bit like Jorginho, just hot stepping into it. And Harry Kane, I think he's learned his lesson from the World Cup against France, because since then, I don't remember him missing a penalty. I'm trying to remember. Maybe he's missed one in the Bundesliga, but in the Champions League, he's money. Real Madrid, you have the chances, Bayern. Eric Dier from the corner twice. He's got to score one of those. The first one has to go in. It just has to. Nobody's marking him. You're free. Eric Dier, you have to score. And the Real Madrid, again, they just the perfect team for the Champions League. Moments. What do they do? Vinicius, Seleção, Rodrigo, boom. Kim Min-jae again. You got spun. Don't hold on to him. You're in the era of VAR. They're going to point it to the spot and give a penalty. So that was stupid from Kim Min-jae. Really just a tragic game from him. Rodrigo very smart. And then Vinicius Jr. gets a brace. And you want this guy for the Champions League. You want a player to just show up in the Champions League. That is Vinicius Jr. And he's been getting a lot of criticism and all of the horrible things around him with the racism. But it's just so wonderful to see. I don't care. I'm going to go through it. Screw you all. And he's just going to show up when the moment is there. And Vinicius did that on Tuesday. And you got to say about Bellingham. I don't know if his visa got refused or what, but I didn't even know he played. And I know they were talking about he was injured heading into this game. If you're healthy, if you're starting, that means you're able to play. There's no excuses. So Bellingham, one of his worst games this season. I've seen a lot of Bellingham. My God, he had no impact on the game. Didn't really understand where to make the runs. I think Bayern did a good job on him as well. And look, Real Madrid did not play their best game. They didn't. Did Bayern play their best game? I don't think it's been the best Bayern I've seen this season. But Bayern should have really won this game 3-1. They had the opportunities. They should have killed it off. So it's 2-2, heading back to Madrid. And now what's going to happen? But Thomas Tuchel, we got to give credit. In the league, diabolical. Forget about it. Diabolical. You can say Tukeliban and all this sort of stuff. In the cup competitions, except for the DFB Pokal, Champions League, Tuchel knows how to prepare the team. He just allows his stars to shine and let them create the magic for their opportunities to create a goal or a goal-scoring opportunity. And defensively, Mazraoui and Kimmich, you just got to step up. And I think they did. I think Mazraoui and Kimmich did a really good job on Tuesday. But this is just, it's Real Madrid, people. It doesn't matter how they play. They just get the job done. And I am pretty sure Carlo Ancelotti is perfectly fine with this game. He is so calm. He's drinking the tea. He's enjoying life. And he's like, you know what? We got the perfect result away. We could have maybe won it. We didn't. We're going to take it back to Madrid. And we're going to take the game to Bayern. Because we have seen over and over again this season with Bayern Munich. Defensively, they just do not have any quality. Yeah, they can be in a good shape. But the players make bonehead decisions that cost the team. And that's what cost them in this game. Bayern played a mere perfect game other than defensively. And Real Madrid did not play a good game. And they get away with the draw. So both teams, I would say they're both satisfied. Maybe Bayern a little bit more disappointed because they could have really won this game. And especially at home, you got to take the advantage. And I'm intrigued to see how Bayern are going to set up in Madrid. Are they going to be a bit more defensive and say, here, Real Madrid, you take the ball, and with our counter-attacking players, we can hurt you. Bayern got an opportunity here, and Real Madrid, they just know what they got to do. When you have the opportunity to strike, you got to strike. Like it's thunder. Thunder. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Vini. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Rodrigo. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Bellingham? That's going to be those moments for Real Madrid. But really, it's just these two, this is the Clásico of Europe. They're the Clásico. And again, they just provide a wonderful night of football. And I always talk about this with football, especially with YouTube. Everybody's complaining, oh my God, football is dead. Where is the stars? Where is this? Where's the individual quality? It's there, people. These guys are not terrible footballers like everybody projects them to be. This is why I don't understand with people. sometimes, you know, it's about environment, coaching, and everything sort of, if your motivation. Clearly, both teams, when it comes to the Champions League, they are motivated. And that has been Bayern Munich this season. Motivation. They want to get that Champions League medal. And I'm pretty sure Harry Kane, Jamal Musiala, and these guys, they desperately want it. Desperately. And so do Real Madrid. So that game next week in Madrid is going to be absolutely epic. And I cannot wait to watch it. Because we're going to see who they play in London. Because it's either going to be Borussia Dortmund or PSG. And another fantastic game. I really thought this was a fantastic game. Borussia Dortmund, I just don't understand. The Bundesliga, they could care less. And shout out to the Bundesliga, the aka the Farmers League. Oh my god, look at this trash team. Oh, everybody's scoring 3 goals, 4 goals. Defensively, they're terrible. And who got the 5th spot? The Bundesliga and the Serie A. So congrats to both leagues. This is why I watch the other leagues, people. And what I've seen from Dortmund this season is in the Bundesliga, they just cannot maintain these sort of performances. I don't think they're motivated, and Terzic just really doesn't set up that well tactically. In the league, you need just a sort of systematic approach to it. You need to have the consistent style of play every weekend. You just don't get it from Dortmund in the Bundesliga. You don't. In the Champions League, these guys are just balling out. Absolutely balling out. Mats Hummels, again, I said this before the game's begun. I win my semi-final preview and predictions. He has been the best center back in the Champions League this season. But everybody wants to say, oh, Mats Hummels, terrible. He's going to make a mistake. Liability, yada, yada, yada. Watch the games, people. His impact on the games is nothing short of sensational. Mats Hummels has been outstanding in the Champions League. Yeah. You can say what you want about the Bundesliga. I don't care. I understand the Bundesliga, he hasn't been good. The Champions League, Mats Hummels has turned into prime Cannavaro. You name it. Baresi, name it. He has been unbelievable. His passing, his ability to read situations. A couple of times in the game, he saw Mbappe was going to get the ball. Slide tackle. Sotobeck, I thought, played a great game as well. Matson. See, this is the thing for this Borussia Dortmund team. They made very good signings in the January transfer window. Okay, Ben Sabani, not good enough. Matson, let's bring you on loan and see what you can do for us. And Matson has been a great pickup. Ryerson on the right side has also been really good. But Jadon Sancho. Actually, we'll wait for Sancho. Because we got to give a good segment to him. But again, Dortmund, they just show up in the Champions League. They have been such a good team. When the bright lights hit this team, they are standing up. And they are keeping everybody quiet, where everybody says, oh my god, they're a liability. Defensively, they're not good enough. Oh, are they going to score enough goals? They keep proving us wrong. In the group stage, I thought they would finish last. I'm not going to shy away and say, oh, no, I didn't say that. Of course I said it. Yeah, I thought they would finish last in the group. But what I saw in the group stage is a team that is motivated. They don't feel the pressure of a Champions League night. They feed off the energy. They feed off the anthem. And they feed off the wonderful yellow wall and everything about the fantastic stadium. And they just show up. And you got to give credit to Terzic. You got to give credit to the players. And PSG, it wasn't their best game. I think we can all agree with that. But they had their moments. Like Dembele again. Fabian Ruiz with two easy headers. Fabian Ruiz at least has to get one of those on target to test the goalkeeper. Mbappe hitting the post, Hakimi hitting the post. So yeah, I don't know how this game finished 1-0. This game should have been 3-2, 3-3, or 4-2. Or, yeah, 2-2, whatever. This was definitely not... If you look at the score, I'm like, boring game. Maybe Dortmund just had that one chance and that. No. This game was ridiculous in this sort of chances that both teams had. And I think PSG will look at themselves and say, if we make a couple little tweaks, we can win the game next week in Paris. I don't understand Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is a very good manager, and he definitely learned his lessons from the first leg against Barca. He adjusted, and look what they did in the second leg. But, Hermano, stop playing Mbappe down the middle. Stop. If you have one of the best players in the world, and you understand, okay, Sotobeck and Hummels, they're not the quickest. What is a liability for these two defenders? Runs in behind. And instead, Mbappe was going towards the ball instead of making runs in behind. That's where you want Mbappe to do. Instead, I constantly saw Mbappe, once he received the ball, turn and face. Whereas I'd rather see Mbappe get the ball out wide and take on Ryerson. Is Ryerson the best right back in the world? Definitely not. He had a great game yesterday, not taking away from him. But get the ball out wide to Mbappe and let him create some magic. I don't understand it. I didn't get it at all. Barcola didn't have the worst game. Dembele... This is just the funny thing with Dembele, man. He is just such a weird player. He's one of those, like, those gels you use in any sport you do. Either they're hot, and when you apply it to your skin, it's like, ooh, oh, it's burning. Or it's ice cold, and you're just freezing. That's Dembele. You don't know which one is going to show up. And yesterday, he had some good moments, but the chances he had, you gotta bury that one. The cutback, I think it was from Colomboani. He is right on the penalty spot. And what does he do? Over the bar. That's where Mbappe should be, not Dembele. Not Dembele. I don't think there was anything really wrong with PSG's sort of lineup. I think they had the right lineup, but just get Mbappe out wide. And then bring on Colomboani, and the guy's playing out wide as well. I don't get it from Luis Enrique. So PSG will understand. They didn't play their best game, but they still created chances. Like, both teams are going to create chances next week. Let's be honest. Both teams, because PSG, like I said in the preview, they are not keeping a clean sheet in both games. They're not. They have not been a good defensive team all season in the Champions League. They just have the firepower up front counteract that. So Marquinhos, remember that pass he played to Fabian Ruiz? Unbelievable. Hakimi, I thought, actually played a pretty good game. He dealt well with Adeyemi. But Adeyemi's defensive work off the ball was just outstanding. The first half, he might have had 3 or 4 sequences where he won the ball off Hakimi after making a 40-yard, 50-yard sprint. So shout out to Adeyemi. Defensively great. Attacking-wise, yeah, it wasn't good from him. And Nuno Mendes just got... I really like Nuno Mendes. I think I've said this a couple times on the channel. I think he's one of the best left backs in the world. Yesterday, he looked like Alberto Moreno. He looked like it. I mean, Jadon Sancho cooked him, stir-fried him, barbecued him. What else? Let me know. How would you describe, people in the comments, how Jadon Sancho cooked Nuno Mendes? It was an absolute 5-star Michelin dish served from Jadon Sancho. Every time he got the ball, he wanted to create. He wanted to dictate play. He wanted to beat Nuno Mendes one-on-one. And he did that almost every single time. Jadon Sancho completed 11 take-ons. 11! Do you know how absurd that is? That's how good Jadon Sancho was. So shout out, he was... This is what you want, people. You want your best players to step up. That's what you want. And that's what Sancho did. He's not been great with Dortmund. You ask Dortmund fans. He has not been great with Dortmund since his arrival. Yeah, maybe it's lack of fitness, lack of playing time, obviously, with Man United and this sort of situation. But he's not been good. But yesterday, that was the Sancho we know. That's the one where everybody was hyping him up at Dortmund and just saying, look at this guy. He's an unbelievable footballer. Sancho was money, man. And created countless opportunities for Dortmund. The cutback he did to Füllkrug in the volley. Füllkrug, you got to score it. You have to. Like, the amount of opportunities he was creating, and you just have to think to yourself, Dortmund, you had the opportunities to get the goal. But Füllkrug, the golazo he scored, that is pure striker. You go to dictionary, you look at pure striker definition, Füllkrug goal against PSG semifinals. Eyes on the ball, perfect touch, left-footed, shot, back in the net. Beautiful. Slotterbeck's pass, great. He read the situation, Slotterbeck. He saw the defensive high line. He just said, let me play a ball over the top. Füllkrug made a wonderful run. PSG could do better defensively. But Füllkrug, he had other opportunities to score, but he still had a great game. And Füllkrug is stepping up big time. Remember the goal he scored against Atletico with the header? Just shows you, man, like, Dortmund are just such a weird team. They are, man. But now they have found the starting 11 that balances it all well. Julian Brandt being the creative number 10, finding those pockets of space, making runs late into the box. Sabitzer, the guy running around and not really chaotic, but he just has a great IQ for the game. And Emre Can is just defensive steel. Ryerson, Matson pushing up the field. Then you have your two wingers of Adeyemi and Sancho just creating, and mostly Sancho. I mean, how many attacks they had down the right, Dortmund, is beyond me, because it just seemed every attack was going down that side. So next week is going to be very fascinating because Dortmund away in the Champions League have been very good. The only game they lost was away to Atletico and away to Paris Saint-Germain. So if Dortmund want to advance to London and play in a Champions League final, they're going to have to play one of the best defensive games all season. They did it last night. Yeah, they gave up their opportunities. I think a similar performance that Dortmund need is the one they had away in Newcastle, where yes, they suffered and yes, there was a hostile crowd, but they still got the goals and they won that game. It's exactly the sort of performance Dortmund need. They need Emre Can, they need Soterbeck, and they need Mats Hummels to play outstanding games. Like, Barcola is a good player, but maybe his time is not right now. Play either Gonzalo Ramos or Colomon, one of the two strikers that PSG paid 150 million for, and play Mbappe left wing. Do that, and let's see then how Dortmund defensively can handle it. How about bring on Lee Kang-in? Huh? Look at what Lee Kang-in was doing against Real Sociedad. He was creating goals, creating magic. So yeah, there's a couple tweaks that both teams can do, and that's what's going to make next Tuesday so fascinating because it's not over, people. It's not either tie. It's not over, and that's exactly what we want in the Champions League. We want tension. We want moments, and next week is going to perfectly provide that in both games on Tuesday and Wednesday. Oh, I cannot. Oh my god. Next week is going to be epic. Because I have a funny feeling that Real Madrid and Bayern are going to put up one of the greatest games in Champions League history. I just have that feeling, people. I have that feeling. And PSG and Dortmund is going to be a bit more of a chess match where Terzic is going to be, I think, cautious. He's going to be cautious. And Dortmund are going to understand, all right, at this moment, we strike with Sancho, with Madsen, with Adeyemi, and Füllkrug with this wonderful hold-up play. Now, if Lucas Hernandez is injured and it's Lucas Beraldo, Füllkrug's got to look at it and say, that's money. That's barbecue chicken, like Shaq says. Easy. Because Lucas Beraldo he's been good in Ligue 1. In the Champions League, he's getting exposed for his lack of experience in European football. Next week is going to be epic, people. Oh, I cannot wait. This is what we, as football fans, people, this is what we want. We want the drama. We want the anticipation. And then we want the games to deliver. And hopefully both games deliver. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, people. Who is the most outstanding player of the Champions League this week? Was it Vinicius, Füllkrug, Mats Hummels? You name it. I want to know your players in the comments down below. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, as I will be reviewing the games next week. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. And the Champions League will forever live. Adios.